What's up, everybody? I'm out here with Katana. She's chilling. We just got done running this field. Well, she ran it. I didn't run shit. I'm sick. I don't even want to make a video right now. But I've gotten a lot of friendly reminders from folks letting me know that it's been a while since I made a video. So I said, let me come out here today, get in front of the camera. Sorry, Under Armour, you didn't pay me shit, so your logo doesn't show up in here. Yeah, I'm that guy. So yeah, anyway, I'm out here with Katana. I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to finally start addressing some of the questions that I've been getting. I've been promising to do question and answer videos, and I haven't been on top of it. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna make it up to you. Quick reminder, I get a lot of questions sent to me. The people who get first dibs on getting their questions answered are those who have subscribed to my blog. Hit me up, kdmatthews1t.com. There's all kinds of links all over here and everywhere. I'll fix all that later. But listen, you subscribe to my blog, you get a free copy of my book, Operation Dog. It'll get you started. It puts your name in my mailing list. I send you cool shit. It also means that when I do videos like this, I'm gonna answer your questions first. That's the way it goes. Those who subscribe get those kind of perks. Those who don't, you're at the bottom of the list. I mean, if that hurts your feelings, good luck with life, because that's how things work. So, Jeremy, from somewhere in the Midwest. Jeremy, I forgot. I didn't write it down. I remembered your question because I knew I wanted to talk about it. But Jeremy in the Midwest wants to know why. Well, he started his letter out by saying to the effect of, my dog is great. She's super well trained. She knows sit, down, come. She does perfectly in the yard and in the house. But when I take her out in like a park or a public place, she gets stubborn and doesn't want to listen, but she's really good. First, Jeremy, thank you for your question. Thank you for subscribing. Now, if you've subscribed to me, Jeremy, that means you've also read my blog. You've watched my videos, which means you're not going to get butthurt at what I'm about to say and how I'm going to answer your question, because you know that no matter how blunt and honest I am going to give you some good advice. I am going to help you out. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. You started off by saying how good your dog is and how well trained they are. The first step is accepting the fact that your dog is not well trained. Your dog is not well trained. That's not a bad thing, okay? Sounds like you're off to a really good start. The fact that you say your dog listens to the commands at home, listens in the yard, you are off to an excellent start. I mean that. Again, I just like I don't sugarcoat shit, I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass. I mean that. You're off to a great start. But your dog isn't well trained. Well trained would mean you can go anywhere and your dog is going to follow the commands, follow the cues. And if that were the case, you wouldn't have sent me a letter or an email. No one sends letters anymore. I'm going to talk about a word called fluency. Fluency, like, you say someone's fluent in another language, it means they know it backwards and forwards. They can think in it, they can speak in it, they're fluent. Well, let's take a command, let's say down, for example, very common and important command. To say a dog is fluent in the command down means that dog, no matter where they are, if they're on a picnic bench in the back of a pickup truck, if they're in the park, if they're on, I don't care, use your imagination. If they're anywhere and you tell them down, they're gonna down. That means the dog is fluent. And anything less than that isn't fluent. It means they might be really good. You could be really good at Spanish. I can fake it, I can talk it, I can't understand it. But I mean, I'm not fluent. I know some stuff. Doesn't mean I'm very good at it though. Well, it's the same thing with commands. So if your dog is not doing things in different places, you can't say they're very well trained. It just means they do really good in their comfortable environments. So now I'm going to stick up for your dog here. Your dog isn't being stubborn when they're not listening to you out at the park. They're not defiant. They're not telling you to go screw yourself. No, what it is if you teach a dog to lay down in the kitchen, doesn't mean he's going to lay down in the living room. It's called generalization. It means the dog understands that this behavior must be done everywhere, because dogs are very contextual. What that means is learning down in the kitchen to the dog means I do this in here. Doesn't mean they do it anywhere else. And most oftentimes I find pet owners overestimate their dog's ability to understand them. They overestimate what the dog actually knows. You have to start over again every time you go to a new place. So if you have a dog who will hold a down position, I'm not going to say the word stay, because I don't believe in the word stay. If you tell your dog to lay down, they should lay down until you tell them to get up. I wrote an article about that too. It pissed off a lot of people. I tend to do that. I'm just being honest. People don't like honesty. If you got a dog that'll lay down for 10 minutes in the kitchen, and now you want to practice at the park, don't practice a 10-minute down at the park. Practice a 3-second down, because you've changed the environment. You've changed the criteria for this behavior. That's the technical term. We call it criteria. Location is a criteria. Duration is a criteria. So when you go to the park, when there's all kinds of cool stuff out, start small. Pick a really quiet corner. You should have a long line on. Make sure the dog is either really hungry or really hasn't played with you in a while, and they're real amped up if you're using a ball or using something else. And start small. Retrain the behavior. If you got to start going backwards and using some physical cues like you did in the very beginning, then do that. But set the dog up for success so that you can reward that success. If you got your dog and they're 50 yards away from you and there's all kinds of other dogs and birds and all kinds of shit out there, and you're out there screaming, down, down, over and over again, down, down. You know how people do it. If you're doing that, I hope you're not doing that, Jeremy. But if you are, stop. Don't do that. Stop asking your dog to do things that you already know they're going to fail at. So right now, you already know that the dog's not going to necessarily listen to you in the park. So that means you got to backtrack a little bit. I'd start doing some extra work at home, extra work in various rooms in the house, various parts of the yard. Then start adding distractions in the yard. Maybe throwing a ball around, trying to mess with her a little bit, in or him, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, in the yard. And then slowly expand that environment, always making it easy when you go into the new environment. The key is we always want to set the dog up to succeed when we're training, so that we can reinforce that success. Now, once you get to the point where the dog is doing it everywhere perfectly, well, then we start getting into some more advanced training, and it's not always going to be all positive reinforcement. They are going to at some point have to learn what happens if they disobey. But a dog is not being stubborn and is not disobeying you if they don't fully understand. And just because a dog fully understands at the house and fully understands in the backyard, that doesn't mean they fully understand in the park, on the sidewalk, in the parking lot. Nope, you got to start over again. And it shouldn't be a big deal. Shouldn't be a big deal at all, because that's called training, that's called time, and that's what we have these dogs for, is to spend that time with them, training and working on stuff. So, Jeremy, your dog isn't very well trained, but that's okay, because you're making an effort. You're trying your best. I'm just going to tweak it for you a little bit, kind of re-educate you on some of those expectations you have. So backtrack a little bit, work on some stuff at home, make the environment a little bit more stimulating in other places, and always make sure you drop your ego before you pick up that leash. And remember, the best force in teaching is no force at all. Keep those questions coming, guys. See ya.